If Petite Knit invented stockinette with an I-cord edging, LePole invented mixed sequin yarn. Yes, I did get a pink microphone. I had an Amazon gift card. Hey everybody, welcome to today's video on the Sebastian Sloan NYC YouTube channel. I'm Emily, and today we're going to be discussing every pattern that I have knitted or crocheted by the designer LePole. If you do not know who LePole is, I feel like I see everyone including her patterns in their roundups, but I don't see everybody making them. But I have made them, so I thought I would come out here and talk about it. Her website is lepolestudio.com. The designer is named Katarina or Katharina, but I feel like it's pronounced like Katarina. Anyway, she lives in the south of France and makes all sorts of beautiful clothing designs and accessories, wearables. She makes wearables. LePole is to people who want their knitted pieces to look thrifted. That is who Petite Knit is to people who want their knits to look store-bought. That just took me so long to say, you guys. Anyway, that's LePole, and let's get into the patterns. My tabs are a mess, you people. First thing we're going to talk about is the patterns that I have made. We will go in the order in which I have made them. Actually, scrap that. We're going to go the order in which I'd recommend them. Sorry, this is going to be a little bit mean because I really like this designer, but I'm going to be tough because this is journalism. Anyway, I made this one first, and it will also be the one I would recommend the least. It is the One Day Scarf by LePole. Duh. Anyway, this scarf is a striped stockinette scarf. It has a little bit of extra other stuff going on, but basically it looks like a stockinette striped scarf. But I was not talented a knitter enough to really make this. So I just did stripes. I just followed the number of stripes and stitches in the pattern and did really bad color work. The yarn for this scarf are Michael's yarns that I got really cheap, and they're acrylic and they weren't really fun to use. And I finally finished the scraps. Basically, what I'm saying is I fudged it, and you can too. So I don't think you necessarily need to buy a pattern for a striped stockinette scarf, unless you're like me and you want the exact number of stitches that they did, so you can freehand it based on their math. That's just me though. Next up is the Thelma top, and I love my finished object of this, and I would like to make another one better. So my issues with this pattern have nothing to do with the finished object. I did not use the best yarn. I should have used more stiff yarn to make this. However, the issue is that the construction is a little bit unnecessary. I think there are similar patterns on the market that you can make that look like the same kind of vest. They aren't as good. I do think this one comes out really beautiful having made it. Like the stitching details, it does come out really nice. Like it's really a really nice pattern. But there are easier ways to achieve a similar look where you can cut corners. And if you're someone who likes to cut corners and you're knitting and crochet, I would not recommend this pattern. Or I would recommend reading the whole pattern from beginning to end before you embark on making it. Back to the Thelma vest. The Thelma vest I made in a Karen's coconut cake that I got from Michael's. And the buttons are from Knitty City, and they are tiny pencil sharpeners. Okay, next up we have the Eve dress. Oh my god, the Eve dress. Hey, it's editing Emily, or in bed, and I'll just throw out that I used Ice Yarns cotton palettes in the color lilac or pastel lilac. I used 2 balls of that and 1 ball of a strand of random 100% cotton that I bought at my local yarn store, Knitty City. I love my finished piece, you guys. Here's the Eve dress, but we're gonna look at my finished piece like the whole time because my picture, not even a very good picture, fabulous dress, some of my best work. Basically the same issues I have with the Thelma vest top I have with the Eve dress. It's a little needless in the construction. There is a whole stitch that you do to make it look garter, but I just did mine backwards and then turned it inside out. I also used a completely different gauge. The story behind my Eve dress is that the yarn got here at the end of December, and I decided with 5 days till New Year's I was going to make a New Year's dress, and I did, and I survived. It's not finished yet. It's a little bit long in the armholes, which is apparently a common issue, and it's also too short. But mine is slightly different because I wanted it to be a little bit more skatery and a little bit more drop-waisted than the straight A-line vibe of the Eve dress. But anyway, that's my Eve dress, and I think what makes this pattern really unique besides the yarn is the cut of the dress. There's not a lot of dresses cut like this on the market. There's a lot more ruffly, more girly looks, and this is a little bit more 1960s and a little bit more plain and simple. And I think that is part of the appeal because it's a simple dress to show off a sparkly yarn. So if you had a sparkly yarn, I don't know what else I would even consider. That being said, I don't think it is the best dress pattern ever made. Next, we have the Nina top. This is the second lapel pattern I ever made. I made this with this ball of yarn little set that I got at a tiny yarn store in Las Vegas when I was visiting my aunt and uncle who lived there. And the first ball of yarn was black, and then the last one was all white, and then each one in between had another color in between. I will try and insert a photo because I know there's the same thing listed on eBay. If you want to see my eBay video, there will be a thing somewhere. Oh my god. I made this top and I kind of didn't make a gauge swatch. I totally fudged it, but I know if I made a gauge swatch, I made the smallest size and I used smaller needles and it's a little bit baggy on me. So at the end of the day, I just knit ginormous and there's actually not a solution. So designers, this is my request, to make your patterns in smaller sizes for people who don't want to make children's clothes, but they just knit on a huge gauge that they can't size their needles down any smaller. Thank you for hearing me. Anyway, that's a big problem on the world. So I made this top with ombre yarn because I don't like doing stripes and color work, and the ombre yarn was perfect because I could gauge how much I needed. It's a bottom-up pattern, except that I do appreciate it because I think decreases look way better than increases. So, and you have to decrease for the triangles. But anywho, I really liked this. I learned how to do a provisional cast on, fold over, and picot edging. So a lot of things I use in my regular life. I also got an I-cord maker before I did this, so when I had to make the I-cord straps, I didn't have to knit them. I could just I-cord maker them. And I still wear this. This is a great top. It's black and white. It's very simple. So I actually don't wear it that much because it's kind of boring. But anywho, that is that piece. Then we get to my unfinished piece. No, I'm kidding. It's not bad. But I am making the, what is this pattern even called? It like just released. The pattern I'm currently working on is the back to school tie. This is so cute. And I'm making mine in the recommended yarn that I already had in stash. Anyway, so I already had the yarn in stash. Amazing. So I am using Laying Yarns Jaw Wool Sockety Sock Super Sock yarn. I don't know what it's called, but it's over there. And this is a picture of the colors I'm using. I'm using dark heather-ish charcoal gray with a very, very light dye lot of neon yellow. It's giving pastel tennis ball. Anyway, the outside edge is done in the color that you do for the tip. So it will have a gray edge around the whole thing, which I think will be really nice to kind of bring the tie into the foreground. I bet when I moved the mic away from my mouth, you won't be able to hear me very well. Anyway, I am really enjoying this pattern. Here's the thing, I hate like fingering weight projects, so I'm not gonna have fun with this, and I hate color work. And the color work interval, the stripe interval I have to use involves twisting your yarn, and I hate that. So I'm not enjoying it, but it's an easy project and it doesn't involve very much counting. Like I can put it down and I can read my work and figure out where I am, so I don't have to write anything down. And there's not very much increasing or decreasing for most of the tie, obviously, because it's just, you know, stripe. And I'm really excited for the outcome. Anyway, that is my back to school tie. And last but not least, and definitely something I should be making again, but I think I want to do it again as a set, as I did before, is the popcorn skirt. And here we are, Crochet out here winning. So Katarina Lipol, you should make more crochet patterns, because I really like the ones that you make. Well, the one that I have made from you, but it's my favorite of all my patterns, so I support if you get bored and you crochet more. Anyway, this skirt was so fun to make. First of all, it's bottom up. I really thought that was interesting because I like to put an elastic waistband with a provisional cast on, but I couldn't do that, but it's okay. I still put a knitted elastic. This skirt does not have short rows because it is meant to be high-waisted, so I modified it a lot and also added short rows and made it low rise and did a bunch of stuff, but it came out so cute and I'm very happy with it. And I wear this set all the time. The other yarns are, the white yarn comes from my friend Jeannie's collection, and the tan yarn is Sandness Yarns. Sorry, let me say that one more time. Sandness Yarns. Yeah, I'm literate. Sandness Yarns, petite double Sunday, petite knit something yarn. So I held the sock weight, fingering weight, petite knit, Sandness yarn with a random ball of mystery crazy stuff, and it made the same texture as the leftover coconut cake. So stash project. This was a stash project. I just thought it would be fun to have a matching skirt. So I really, really like this, and if you're somebody who likes to have like a cute beach cover up, this is perfect. But if you're also someone who's into like a skirt over tights or shorts or something, like this would be such a cute outfit for a music festival. Anyway, that brings us to all of the Lipol patterns that I have purchased and made, even though I haven't finished my back to school tie yet, but I don't care. Anyway, so there are 3 patterns on my list of things I would like to make. The one that I am the least interested in making is the Olympe vest, sweater vest thing. You know what I'm talking about, this thing. So I want this, but in all the pattern pictures, I feel like the armpit hole is not right, so I'm like a little iffy on it. The other thing is I know I can freehand this because I have made the Funky Fringes pattern by Caroline Zuschlag, and that pattern is fabulous, but it's worked the same way as this, and it's crochet, so it's way easier to understand. So I'm also knitting a version of that top, and I could just make it a vest. So in theory, I could figure this one out because I'm not sure that I like the fit of the vest that a lot of people achieved. I like this design very much. I think it's a really cute vest, and I could come up with a great color scheme. Next up is, I know, you guys knew this one's coming. You knew this one's coming. It's the disco trousers. They're so cool, but I would have to modify them. I would just need to start like 4 inches below where she starts them because she makes them so high rise. So that's a lot of math to have to think about. And I'm tired right now, so I'm not going to start them right now, obviously. But yeah, I would really like to have these someday. I would also want to just use bigger yarn and have to, but then I have to do the drop stitches math myself. Like I could just order the Hobie cotton and be done with it. You guys, like, come on. Okay, so anyway, so that's a plot, but I'm not gonna make them. I'm not making pant legs right now that aren't crocheted. And lastly is the poppy top, and I feel like this is kind of an underrated gem, but that's what I'm all about. So we are gonna take a gander. This is an asymmetrical button-up tube top, and this just solves like so many of the problems with all these other tops. I want an asymmetrical thing. I don't want the yarn to be that small. I don't want it to be a sweater vest. And I need it to be like going out vibes. So this solves that. I don't know what yarn I would use. I do have actually the perfect yarn, so maybe I will use it for that, but who knows? I could also freehand this. Yeah, this is the last pattern that I would like to make by Lapole, but most important because I would like it to make it the most. I will give a special shout out to the Frankie top, which is the halter one like that. I really like this top, but I will freehand this if I want to make it because I feel as though I am capable of doing that. Okay. Anyway, that ends this video. I have no more commentary on Lapole. She makes fabulous patterns. I really like them, but they can be simplified if you are capable of modifying patterns on your own. So if that is you, I recommend her patterns. If that is not you, you should take them very literally. They're very literal. Okay, that's what I've got for everybody. Shout out to Lapole. I feel like I see everyone including her patterns in their roundups, but I don't see everybody making them. But I have made them, so I thought I would come out here and talk about it so you all can know more about what to expect. If Petite Knit invented stockinette with an I-cord edging, Lapole invented mixed sequin yarn. One day scarf, more like 1 month scarf. Eve dress, more like 5 Eves dress. Okay, that's what I got for you guys. Good night. This is the end of the video. Bye. Subscribe, like my video, subscribe. I don't know. I don't know. Do people like this stuff?